What is up, Hash Nation? Crypto is dead. In a good way. And I'll tell you what I mean in just a second, but I want to let you guys know I'm super stoked because I'm in my new office, my new house, and I'm very excited to get back to making consistent content again now that I'm unpacked. Without further ado, if you are new to crypto, if you are a seasoned veteran who is in serious pain from all of these downturn losses, then this video is for you. And if you've watched any of my videos all the way till the very end, this is one that you need to stick around for. Let's hash it out. Guys, in the intro, I said crypto is dead, and I mean that in the truest sense of the word. Crypto, as we know it, is dead. It's gone. It's never going to go back to the way that it was. We're not going to see the invest in whatever you want and make gains, invest in any ICO in the world and make gains just because of the immense amount of hype that was surrounding cryptocurrency in 2017. 2018 has really been a wake-up call for almost everyone in the market. And it's not as if you couldn't make a profit this year, because you could, but the strategy to do so was totally different. And a lot of the things that people thought were going to happen didn't happen, including me. I didn't ever foresee this much catastrophe going on in crypto in 2018, but now looking back, I actually understand why this has happened. So let's kind of deconstruct what's going on, and I can explain to you why I think crypto being dead in the true sense of the word is a good thing. And guys, when I say crypto is dead, I mean in 2018 a lot of things changed. It was no longer a viable strategy to basically close your eyes and shotgun invest in anything you could think of and make money. You couldn't hodl until the end of time and just make money. It required a lot more effort, a lot more planning, a lot more research to succeed. And even when you did those things and you did your due diligence, you still may not have succeeded. And that's just so different than it was in 2017, when you could do no wrong investing in crypto no matter what it was. And there were no rules, repercussions, or restrictions on ICOs, and that includes people who represented ICOs. There are tons of YouTubers, tons of influencers, heck, tons of business people who got on the podium and used their influence to convince people that ICOs that they were being paid by were a great investment. And they made a ton of money, and now a lot of people are sitting here realizing they lost a ton of money because they listened to these people. And at the end of the day, the SEC has rules against that in the world of securities and stocks for a reason, because it's misleading. You know, of course, I would want to tell you that this ICO over here is the best thing ever if they were paying me $100,000 or $30,000 or heck, even $3,000. But I don't do that type of thing because unless I truly believe in a project, I wouldn't make a video about it. And people were breaking that trust with their audience consistently with representing ICOs, and we've seen it happening. We've seen the enforcement against Floyd Mayweather. Another one. And our boy DJ Khaled. We can't continue that trend if crypto is going to succeed long term. Take that another step further and think about how much infighting there is in crypto. In a limited sense, infighting is okay because it means people are passionate about the projects that they're involved in. They're passionate about the things that they've invested in. That's good. And competition is really good. However, to a certain end, the competition becomes a problem, a PR problem especially, and the hash war is a perfect example of that. The hash war became personal and it became almost violent in a way, and that does no good for the crypto community. And at the end of the day, we're all sort of pushing for the same thing. We're all looking to help the same movement, and I don't understand why there's so much fighting and so much hatred between everyone in this space, because if we don't band together, this movement's gonna fall apart. And that's not what we need. We need this movement to continue and we need it to succeed. Whether you think about the profit-hungry influencers who put money over the movement, or you think about people who have fought with each other rather than use that energy to improve projects they're passionate about or learn more about someone else's opinion. All of these things have contributed over time and in 2018 to this catastrophe, this catastrophic drop we've seen, this crash. The market's still so young. It's still in infancy, and the amount of growth that occurred in 2017 was far beyond what was reasonable and realistic for the valuations on almost every single cryptocurrency. But guys, there's a silver lining here, and it's not all bad. Crypto may be dead. The ICO as we know it may be dead. And a lot of the things that we're used to in crypto might be dead. But it's true in business, it's true in almost every construct, and just in humanity in general. The greatest evolution always comes after a catastrophic event. And I believe that we're in that position right now. This could be the platform on which we build the next wave of cryptocurrency and make it more successful than it has been to this date. And if nothing else, I hope that the community will come together more and that we'll work together more to improve any project that's willing to play the game, as I like to say, and work towards the same thing. Because really, like I've said now probably 50 times in this video, we're all really vying for the same thing, and at least I hope you are, because if you're watching this video right now, I hope you're ready to join that movement. I say it in every single video. Join the movement to our distributed, decentralized future. That's what it's all about. It's my honest belief that the absolute catastrophe we've seen in 2018, the all-time lows that we've seen in this year compared to 2017, and all the people who probably have lost faith in this whole construct of cryptocurrency, I think is going to create the next evolution for the movement, the next evolution for cryptocurrency. The work hasn't stopped. You know, the Ethereum developer community hasn't stopped working. You know, the Bitcoin community hasn't stopped working, and a bunch of these projects haven't given up. And the ones that have given up and the ones that have disappeared, they clearly didn't want it badly enough. They clearly couldn't do it. And someone else will take their place, because that's the way that all of these things have always worked. And it was the same as the internet way back in the day. And I'm telling you guys, for everyone that thinks no regulation can ever help, I will honestly tell you that I think the SEC finally stepping forward and taking action against people who advertised ICOs, people who didn't disclose how much they were being paid to represent this ICO on a YouTube video or on social media. It's about time, and it's good for the market. These people need to realize that this is not allowed. It's never been allowed in other securities, at least not in recent past and not in recent history. And there's a good reason for that, because it's a conflict of interest. If you don't disclose to someone that you are being paid an exorbitant amount of money to represent a product, then they don't know whether or not you're being honest. And that's the biggest problem. So many people lost so much money because they listened to people that they thought were trustworthy that actually weren't. And that's why I'm actually happy for once about regulation coming into this market, because it needs to. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, this is why we can't have nice things. We can't have nice things in terms of a no regulation environment, because people do bad things. People take advantage of other people, and that's why I say regulation within reason is sometimes necessary, and that's what we need here. So don't take the SEC stepping forward and cracking down as a bad thing. It's a good thing. And I think we will see that as time goes on, as long as they don't overstep and overregulate, because overregulation never does anyone any good. And again, I'm not saying that, institutional investors should be the only ones who can participate. Everyone should be able to participate. It changes nothing about the way that I feel about what crypto means and who should be involved. I don't think in any way, shape, or form that this should be a limited movement in any way, shape, or form. If you want to invest, no matter how much money you have, no matter how many connections you have, you should be able to invest. But the SEC does need to step in and fix the ICO problem. I believe in you guys, the truly dedicated people in the space who are creating, developing, learning, and teaching other people, because that is what we need. We need people that are passionate about it. That when the markets look like garbage, when nothing seems to be going our way, you're still believing, you're still watching YouTube videos, which I appreciate so much because I love making these videos, but you still believe. And that is the key for me. So if you're gonna be riding into the crypto waves in 2019, either as a new investor or as a seasoned investor, or heck, somebody who's been in the space since 2009, I have 5 tips for you that I think will really help going into 2019, and it is the biggest pieces of advice that I can think of right now to really go in with positivity into 2019. So let's kick it off with number 1. And number 1, I've said it before on this channel, but number 1 is do your research, get educated. And you know what? I'm gonna take that a step further and say, always be a skeptic. When you see someone say something on YouTube or you see someone say something on Instagram, no matter how much rapport you have with that person, or no matter how much trust you may have or inherently feel, always be a skeptic. Always look to do your own research about something. Get another opinion, because at the end of the day, it's your decision, it's your money, it's your life, it's your time. All of those things are important. So just do as much research as you can, and the more you know, the better off you are. That is my number 1 tip, and it always will be. Number 2 is be kind to one another. I can't tell you the number of times I've been in YouTube comment sections, or I've even seen YouTubers themselves fighting with each other about stupid stuff and pointing fingers and accusing. It doesn't really do any good. At the end of the day, the truth will out. If you're up to no good, you will be found out eventually. And if you conduct yourself with honor, you will end up being, in the eyes of the beholder, a trustworthy person. So that really should be all it's about. And if you love a project that someone else hates, learn why they hate it. And conversely, if you hate a project, learn why someone else loves it, because that is ultimately how you learn the most, by debate. And debates get heated, but just be kind to one another. Hatred has no place in this space or any other space. Tip number 3 is learn from your mistakes. I can't tell you how important this is. I've made so many mistakes investing in crypto. I've made mistakes in videos when I misspoke or I didn't do enough research on a certain topic. And those things happen because we're human beings. But if you learn from your mistakes, you'll be in a much better position the next time you face one of those situations. And it sounds cliche, but in crypto especially, it's very important, because this market is so new that you have to learn from your mistakes, because you will make them, and we all do. So definitely learn from your mistakes. Number 4 is another really important one, and that is to know your limits. I think in 2017, especially, when people started coming into the retail space for crypto, a lot of people didn't take or acknowledge their limits. They didn't understand the concept of not overextending themselves. I know too many people who remortgaged or refinanced their house, who sold their car, who took an equity loan out on personal assets to buy into crypto, and right now where they sit now, they're in serious financial trouble. And I hate that. It's terrifying to me that people have done that to themselves, but not just to themselves, but to their families. Because we all have obligations, we all have bills to pay, we all have family of some kind that maybe we have to take care of, or we will have families and we need to save money for those people. So don't overextend, don't invest more than you can afford. Just know your limits, because at any scale you can profit in this market, and there's no purpose and no reason, no good reason to overextend yourself financially to get into this. Don't get sucked into the fear of missing out. It's garbage. You can invest as little or as much as you want within your limits and still do extremely well in crypto. That is my promise. Obviously, this isn't financial advice, but know your limits. I think that's a pretty reasonable thing for me to share with you, but obviously take it with a grain of salt, do your own research. My 5th and final tip is something that I personally struggle with, and that is to be patient. Patience is really difficult, especially in this world of technology where everything's at our fingertips right away. I definitely know how it feels to feel like you're getting left behind, or feel like Bitcoin should be at 10,000 by now, or that you need to get your next paycheck so you can drop every cent of it into this coin that you think is gonna moon soon. If you just kind of take a deep breath and kind of approach this with a slow and steady mindset, which is something I've just now kind of figured out how to do, you'll be much better off in the long term. That's my opinion. Being patient is important, and also that includes being patient for, projects like, Neo with their new updates, or Ethereum with their new updates. I know technology moves very fast, but these things take a lot of time, and you always want an update to a protocol to go without a hitch and to come out and be perfect rather than be half-baked and blow up and kind of ruin everything, because ultimately you only get one shot at a deployment in most cases. So being patient is definitely important. And guys, I'm gonna reiterate it again because I think it's so important that we all come together and join this movement and focus in on what the end goal is, and focus in on what it is that brought us into this space in the first place and why we're in it in the first place. And if we do that and we think to ourselves that 2019 is going to be a much more positive year, whether that brings more profit, whether that brings new updates, whether that brings brand new technology that we haven't even seen yet, it's hard to say, but it's going to be better than 2018 in my humble opinion. And I definitely think we have a hand in how everything plays out in 2019. So let's band together and do that as best we can. And guys, as always, I want to thank you so much for watching my videos. It truly does mean a lot. I will be back to consistent content starting now. And I did want to announce my sticker winners from last week. I will be showing the comments here on the screen for you to see. If your name is here on the screen, I will be reaching out to you via Instagram or email or some other way as best that I can. Just shoot me a message back and let me know where to send your stickers. And today, the same rules apply. If you want to win Hashoshi stickers, all you have to do is leave a comment below about anything crypto related about this video, heck, even about these stickers, and you will be entered to win, and I will shout you out on next week's video. Now guys, I would really encourage you to check out some of my Token Talk Tuesday videos. They're a fantastic series in my opinion, and I would love for you to stick around and watch more of my content. See you guys soon. Cheers.